everyone? Today is Friday. Yay! April 4th. And today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, NVDY, Misty, AMZY, PLTY, SMCY. Yeah, and that's it. But we'll actually, since it's Friday, obviously Thursday and Friday, YieldMax makes the majority of their moves because obviously, most of their contracts expire on the Friday. So due to how much they trade, they typically do it over a 2-day period. Sometimes they do it Wednesday too, or Tuesday even. But for the most part, Thursday and Friday are the biggest days as far as the trade. So what I do is I skim through the majority of the total trades as I go through. This is going to be probably a longer video because I did mention I'm going to cover my dividend car update at the end of this video as well. Hopefully I can remember to do that. If I don't, I'll do it the next one, but I'll do my best. Anyway, let's get to it. So Misty, yeah, they had trades. Duh. Yeah, a lot of trades, annoying trades. Yep. But to be fair, I did have 3 days off, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. They did not trade. So, I mean, it was good. I had fun. Anyway, so what they do, basically it's weird because they added to the 330 synthetic and then they closed some out of the 330 synthetic, the same one that expires May 16th. And then obviously they started a new synthetic at 290. So obviously when they added to the 330 synthetic, which is up here, this is that trade. It was probably earlier in the day, and then the market just said, all right, bye-bye, straight down arrow, boom. And we said, okay, let's close some of that synthetic. So that's what they did, and they created a new synthetic, which is at 290. They did also close some calls for the week, which we'll cover as well. All right, let's get to it. All right, so we have still a synthetic 330. This one expires April 17th. The last time they touched this one, though, was March 17th. Again, they have 14 days. This one, now it's 14% underwater here. But again, yesterday was kind of a rough day. Who knows if we, will recover from that within the 14 days. But, I did check the pre-market. It did look green for crypto, but it did not look green for the rest, for the indexes. But anyway, let's look at the 330. Here's the synthetic 330. This is the May one. So here's where they added 1,400 contracts. And you can see, man, they got a massive credit. Because, again, it's a tough position to add to, right? Because they're so far away from the strike. But, hey, we got $6 million for opening that. But at the same time, they said, all right, let's get out of some of this. Actually, the shading, this one technically is green, right? Because it's, they're selling their call part here, right? So they got 17.5 on that. Again, they closed 10,000 contracts. And here is a loss, right? Expense. They had this buy to close part of their put. That's 64 million loss right there. So, of course, yeah, now we have less contracts on this position. And since they opened this position, it has been a little rough. Yeah, the formula is not carrying. What's going on here? Yeah, see, I did something here, and it's not quite working. Let's see if I could fix it right here. 75 mil. Yeah, they lost 75 mil on this synthetic so far. And then they added to a 290 synthetic, cost them about... No, they didn't cost them, actually. They got a credit for opening this one. They got a $7 million credit for opening a 290 synthetic that expires May 16th. And that's because MSTY is actually below the 290s, but it's only 2.66% away, 43 days till expiration. So hopefully this synthetic does better than the 330s did or are doing, and we can go from there. All right, let's just get to the weeklies tab. Enough about synthetics. Let's get to the fun part. Fun says who, right? All right, so yesterday was April 3rd, MSTR. They went down 9.68%. MSTY, they went down 8.5%. So, I mean, not much you can do. The market just took a tank. I think I heard worst day in the market since COVID in 2020, right? Yeah, that says a lot. So obviously the market reaction, the market does not like tariffs, all right? That's clear. So since the tariffs kicked in, or actually going through, maybe worse than what they thought. I don't know. But obviously, the moral of the story is that the market doesn't like tariffs. So any type, either to me, two things are going to happen. The market's just going to get used to how it is. This is it. This is going forward. This is the tariffs, and the market will settle. Or there's going to be, countries that will work with the U.S. and they'll come to an agreement, and the tariffs will be a little, I don't know, a little looser. Then the market could recover. Yeah, we ain't going down forever. I mean, obviously, we've been going down for quite some time, so we're all hurting. I know, I get it too. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Again, I'm never here to predict the market because I don't know crap about crap. But, it is what it is, man. It goes down, Portfolio's taking a beat. I wish I had more cash, but hey, I got what I got. Anyway, so let's see what they did yesterday. So they closed the 355 right here. So as you can see, just keeping it simple. Anyone new to the channel, like when they sell a call, like here, they sold a call on 3,207 contracts. They got 452 credit per share when they opened it. All right. So basically they collected, if you go over here, is a call credit of 1.4 million right here. Okay. That's when they opened the position. All right. So since MSTR has gone down since they opened that position, right? It went down to, it's now showing 282. This 355 strike is not in danger. Like this contract is not in danger of getting assigned. And the market says, okay, it basically is going to expire worthless, but it still cost about 8 cents, right? If you wanted to buy it. So they did buy it out by the close. They paid 8 cents per share. So obviously that cost them something. It cost them $25,000. But more importantly, you go to the profit loss. They made $1.4 million on this individual trade, which is good. Again, so they're going to make money in this market. They will. They will make options premium on the way down. The synthetic, maybe not so much, but when you sell calls on a weekly basis, and on a weekly basis, your underlying is going down and down again and down again and down again, you're going to make the premium. You're going to win those contracts. Here's another one, 2,000 contracts, 382 credit. They only paid 8 cents to close it. So that was a win as well. They made $748,000 on that one. We go to the next one, 4,000 contracts. Here we go. 382 credit. They paid 8 cents to close. So obviously another win right there. That is an overall profit of $1.4 million. So, good stuff. What else did they close? Let's continue. See if anything else comes up. Anything in gray I covered previously. Here's another 4,000 contracts. They closed it for 3 cents. Again, oh, wait, no, I'm sorry. This was a buy call. So, all right, so this was, one. Sometimes they buy calls. They make like credit call spreads. So this was 4,000 where they paid 79 cents. They bought a call. But since, again, this strike is 370, MSTR did not go above 370. In fact, it went down. So this is really worth nothing. But they were able to get 3 cents. Hey. But obviously, yeah, this was considered a loss, a losing trade, even though it's really just the insurance policy. Here's some more. All right, so here's the trades for next week. This is what they opened yesterday. So they added 1,400 contracts with, this is, an expiration date of April 11th, 325 strike, which is 15% out of the money. All right, so that's one. They bought calls for 2,000 contracts, 335 strike. All right, so that's not equal to the 1,400. So I did not combine it. So it's not necessarily, it's technically a credit call spread, but it's not equally contracts. So it's not really tied to one another. And then up next here, we have 4,000 contracts, 310 strike price. This is 9% out of the money for next week. And then 5,207 contracts, 320 strike price, 13% out of the money. Here they opened 8,000 contracts at a 355 and a 370 credit call spread, and then they closed it right away. I guess it was an error, but it doesn't matter. It's a zero net, unless there's option brokerage fees. And then they got two sets of 8,000 contracts here, both 310, different premium values. They got 471 per share on one, and then 456 on another. So you can see like the call credit. Yeah, this call debit, obviously, yeah, that'll be filled in next week whenever they close it. So, as you saw up above. All right, so that's the update on that, but we will fast forward to the holdings so I can show you the full picture. I just wanted to show you how they opened them. So anything in black, this is for next week. So I'm not even going to talk about that. It's really not a concern at the moment. Let's focus on this week, meaning today, all right? Is there any concern today of, possibly losing any of these trades? And the answer is no, not at this very moment, because if you look, the lowest strike is 13% out of the money. That's really all you need to know, right? So, not much to say outside of that, but they are still, it's scattered to do. 320 to 355, 13% to 25% out of the money. Is MSTR going to go up more than 13% today? It's sure as hell possible after the day we had yesterday, but very doubtful. So I think we're going to win all those trades. So let's get back to the weeklies tab and let's finish up here. So outstanding shares, we did have an increase of 200,000 if you guys care. And here's the recap. Recap is 30-day IV did go up 90%. I like that. Ooh, I like that. Outstanding shares, 110 mil. Total net income. Oh, we're getting close. It's a loss of 14.3 mil. Yeah, that sucks. Anyway, let's move on to the reaction. Yeah, man, we're getting stretched. We are getting stretched super thin with our money. I get it, man. Whether you're using margin or not, it really doesn't matter. It's obviously it hurts more when you're using margin because depending on how much you're using, you could be worried that you may have to sell some of your stocks. Me personally, I only had the margin pending for selling puts, and my $40 TNA, which I was going to get to at the end, I couldn't roll it. I could not roll that thing for a credit, and I sure as hell was not paying money to roll it. So I had the pending order. I was going to accept $5 for the roll. $5. It did not go through by end of day. In fact, I woke up this morning. That sucker got assigned. No surprise. So I did buy 100 shares of TNA at $40. TNA's at freaking $23 last time I saw. Hey, it is what it is, man. This is the risk. I mess with triple leverage funds. Hey, this is the risk. Or now we know, right? It's all good. Group D declares in 5 days, April 9th. Let's take a look. How's the income looking? We took a little hit, I believe, on the synthetic yesterday. We got credits and we did have the loss. But overall, synthetic income is at 228 mil. Again, assuming that's all right. I'll double check that. I didn't get a chance to double check, everything. Actually, I could double check. So the 228 is consistent of, let's see, the 330. So that's what, 27. Yeah, 27 mil. That's a loss. 27 mil. No, that's a... Oh, duh, because there's other... Yeah, it's from the cash out. Yeah, I don't know. All right, so yeah, it's adding up multiple... If I click here, yeah, forget it. I'm not doing that right now. All right, I'm going to trust my formulas here. But I'm showing 228 mil in synthetic income. The weekly's got a little better, only a loss of 14 mil. So total net income is 214 mil. So that did go down because, as you can see, the income per share went down. I believe it was over $2. I forget, it was 2 something. But now it's at $1.94 per share. We had 63 wins, 34 losses. The Rodemator estimate is useless because the weeklies aren't making money. But if we use that sweet-ass IV, 91%, I'm showing the low payment could be $1.40. The high payment, $1.94. Yeah, $2 is really not it's not likely, especially now. I'm looking, there's no way. The last payment was $137. So we're probably going to get around that, maybe a little higher, maybe 160, maybe 170. I don't know. We'll let it play out. Today, obviously, we got to get through today. But yeah, we talked about the holdings. So yeah, if you look at the holdings now, they do have three synthetics, a 290 and two 330s. One of the 330s obviously expire April 17th. So we'll see how that goes. I ain't going to sing. Don't worry, guys. The value of the Misty fund is 2.2 bill. Oh my God, the NAV is under 20. Do you believe it? 1998. Closing trading price yesterday was 2002 though. Synthetic bailout is in the negative, so not much to report there. So that's it with Misty. Now we can go on to the rest of the trades. And I will do my best to speed it up. So TSLY's first on our file. They did not have a trade, believe it or not. So we're just going to cover them really quick. Yesterday, Tesla, that's 7 day. We want the 1 day movement. Tesla yesterday, again, rough day for everyone. All right. Except the UVIX, Tesla went down 5.79%. TSLY went down 3.39%. So yeah, the underlying went down a lot, but TSLY did not go down as much. In fact, they beat it by over 2%. That's pretty nice. Now, if you look at the synthetics, they're not nice. You know, these are not nice. Not nice. They have a 220. That's okay. But they have a 355. This thing is like getting destroyed. And it expires April 17th. You take my money. That's all I'm going to do, man. I know you guys, you're feeling it. So I'll keep the gold digger away. I'll do my best. But, you know, sometimes I don't even want to sing, but it just comes out because it's right there. 85 million. We got to pay the gold digger. You know, it's coming, man. April 17th is a coming, but it is what it is. Nothing we could do. All right. So again, they did not have any trades. So obviously same old 4.4s. They all expire today. Let's see how we doing. All right. Let's zoom out here. Again, do we care about the buy calls? Not really. So let's get them out of the picture anyway. There we go. Look at that. Beautiful. All right. So we have 4 strike prices. Are we going to win every single freaking one? I don't know. But the lowest is 280, 4.76% out of the money. And then they have a 280, 250, a 285, and a 287.50. So they are 4 to 7% out of the money. I wouldn't necessarily say that's a guarantee. Because again, the way the market went down yesterday, it's possible, you know, it could recover today. But who the hell knows, man? Who the hell knows? So far, so good. The value of the TSLY fund is 913 mil. The NAV is 857. Trade price 857. Although I feel like Tesla's holding up better than freaking TNA. TNA is getting the Russell, man. It's getting destroyed. Small business, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't know. But sucks for me. Anyway, synthetic bailout, that yes, it's still positive, 34 mil. That comes to about 33 cents per share. So let's, wow, look at the weeklies only cost 3 cents per share to close. Let's scroll up here. No. I guess, well, the overall, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's even accurate. I guess it is. Whatever, man, whatever. All right, so here's the recap. Oh, my God, look at that 30-day IV. Whew. Well, typically, you know, they say in a bear market, the volatility is always higher. So the 30-day IV is 79%. IV estimate, 53 cents. Income estimate, again, it's not useful right now because it's in the negative. But Group A declares in 12 days on April 16th. All right. So let's go back to, I think everything else had a trade, so we will just continue to go down the line. OARC, buy call, sell put, sell call. So they're basically adding to the fund, selling a call for next week, 48 strike, 6% out of the money. Up next is NVDY, obviously one of our funds. Buy to close. They paid 4 cents to close that. Strike price was 115. Obviously, NVIDIA is at 101, so that's a win. But they're selling calls for next week. 109 strike, 7% out of the money. Here's another one, buy to close. This one is 14,000 contracts. This is a 115. It cost them 4 cents to close, basically nothing. And so what they do, again, this is a rolling order, right? They buy to close, boom, open a new one. Next week, 108 strike, 6% out of the money. All right, they made $2.3 million for their trouble. And let's see how it all plays out. Let's go to the NVIDIA files. So NVIDIA is up next. Loading. Everything's freaking loading today. One day we're just going to all crash and it's going to go blue. All right, so NVIDIA. Wow, they had a rough go at it yesterday. They went down 8.47%. Yes, I do trade NVIDIA, but through NVDX. It's very cheap. However, it's not doing very well. It's a double leverage fund of NVIDIA. And if NVIDIA goes down 8%, guess what? I'm going down 16. Anyway, NVIDIA went down 8.47. NVIDIA went down 7.66%. So the synthetics, man, they got 3 synthetics. They all expire April 17th, which is this month. They have a 110, a 115, and a 130. NVIDIA's at 101. So yeah, I mean, 3 gold diggers for sure. Yeah, that 174. You take my money when I'm in need. Oh God, that's a brutal one. That 174. Anyway, like I said, that's the last time I'm singing. All right. I know. All right, so what do we got here? Anything in red, that expires today. Anything in black, we don't care. That's next week. Let's leave next week with next week. So now I'm going to zoom in. I'm just going to show what's closing today. That's really what we want to see, right? Are we going to win our trades? Who the hell knows? But we can get an idea. Here we go. Boom. All right, so biggest position, lowest strike price, 114 strike, 11% out of the money. And then we have 12% out of the money and a 15% out of the money. So we have 3 strikes from 11 to 15% out of the money. I'm going to go out on a limb and say, yeah, we're going to win these trades. All right. NVIDIA ain't going up 12% today. There ain't no freaking way. Unless there's some crazy good news, which even that, 12% that's a lot. It's a lot to expect. So again, we should be good. The value of the NVIDIA fund is 1.2 billion. The NAV is 1451, trade price 1450. Synthetic bailout is in the negative. So let's skip through to the recap. 30-day IV of NVIDIA is 53%. IV estimate is 60 cents. Income estimate, they have made 18 cents per share so far since their last declaration. They're part of Group B. They declare 19 days on April the 23rd. Up next is AMZY, and since they had a trade, we got to go back to the other file. They're up next here. Buy to close call. They paid 8 cents to close the $200 strike price. Why? Well, Amazon's at 178, so of course they paid it, basically nothing. And then what they do? Well, they sold a call for next week, a 190, 6.5% out of the money. 190, 6% out of the money. How's that? How about that? Well, I don't know, man. For Amazon, 6%. But in this market, I don't know, man. It's I don't know how far it went down, but 6% out of the money for Amazon, usually that's a given. That should be a win. But let's see how much they went down yesterday first before we start talking crap. Oh, wow. Amazon went down 9.86%. Good Lord. AMZY went down 8.44%. Wow. I know people say, well, YieldMax, when the market goes down, YieldMax goes down harder. Well, that's not true. But what is true, on the way up, yes, YieldMax gets capped on the way up. On the way down, we beat the freaking underlines. That's clear. It's literally there almost every single day. Just got to look. All right, so anyway, the synthetic, how's that doing? They have a new synthetic too, a 190. It's already crap. But, it expires, thankfully, on May 16th, so we'll let it all play out. Amazon's at 178. Their synthetic's at 190. All right, so what about their trades? Let's see. What did they close? Didn't they close something? Wait. Oh, I did not highlight these properly, and that's why I'm confusing myself. So ignore the color coding. So what should be red? These two right here, right? Should be red. Well, if I try to drag it, you know how that goes. So we're just gonna make that red, not orange. And then this one right here should be red. Okay, is that good? Great, wonderful. Yippee-ki-yay. All right, so these expire today. Today's gonna be the day. Anyway, we're selling calls. What do we got? 6,000 contracts, 197.50 strike price, 10% out of the money. That's pretty much what they went down yesterday. So if market recovers back to what it was, we'd still probably win. But man, I think this is safe. The one for next week is obviously 6% of the money. So, I mean, hey, let's just see how today goes, all right? Yesterday, nobody had fun yesterday except the shorts, right? Whoever's short in the market, I mean, good for them. Yeah, they got to win sometimes, I guess. The value of the fund is 234 mil. The NAV is 1514, whatever. All right, synthetic bailouts in the negative. So let's move on to the 30-day IV of Amazon, 48%. IV estimate 57 cents. Group D declares next week. 5 days away on April 9th. So this Sunday, I will have a guesstimate for you guys on that. Let's go back to the trading file. Up next is the CONY. But again, I'm going to shift through these. Buy to close put. Oh, man. GUI had to close some of their put. A $200 put. Good God. They paid $32 million on that. That's the biggie right there. And then it looks like they started a new synthetic, a 150. Phoebe buy to close call, 4 cents. They won their trade. I don't know if you guys can hear, but it's freaking pouring. I guess practice is going to be canceled tonight. But, oh, that's thunder. Baby's definitely going to wake up now. All right, selling calls, what they do. So they closed this 625 for 4 cents. They open a new one, 575, 8% out of the money. So that's Phoebe for Meta. Then we got NVDY buy to close call, 127. 127. Strike price 970. Stock price 917. Why is that? That seems expensive, to be honest, but hey, whatever. And then they opened a 960. They sold a call for 960. 1186 credit. Wow. Oh, I guess, all right, because the stock is obviously expensive overall, so you have to take that into consideration. Buy to close here, 43 cents. Yeah, so that's a win. And then they're selling calls for next week, 950, 3% out of the money. All right, here's CONY. Buy, call, sell, put. All right, so they're adding to their synthetic 220, and they're selling calls for next week. Great, wonderful. But they did close the call here, 10 cents. They closed the 190. That was a win, and they rolled that down to a 182.50, 6% out of the money. That's for next week. All right, does that make sense? If it doesn't, then I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, let's zoom out. Let's see how Coin did yesterday. Again, I can imagine. Coin went down 7.14%. So not as bad as Amazon. I mean, again, why is crypto going down? I don't freaking know. CONY, they went down more. Yesterday was Thursday, ex-dividend date. So obviously they had to drop a little more because why do they drop? Well, they pay a distribution, right? When you pay a distribution, it has to come from the holdings, the balance, the cash on the balance sheet, right? It comes from somewhere. So that's why they dropped on ex-dividend date. Duh. All right. So anyway, that's why they're down more. I'm sure you guys know that, but I'm just letting you know. All right. Man, it's pouring. Good Lord. All right, synthetics. What do we got here? We got a 185 and a 220. Coin is at 170, so yeah, not great, not at the moment. I did get this one right. Let's see, anything in red expires today. That's all we're focused on today. All right, next week is for next week. So what do we got? We're gonna win all of our trades. It's possible. So our lowest strike is 182.50. That's 6% out of the money. That's only 400 contracts though. So the biggest concern is probably the next one, 21,590 contracts, 185 strike, 8.34% out of the money. And then there's a 187.50, that's 9.8% out of the money. Yeah, now it's getting loud. Now it's thunder and lightning. All right, so hopefully I don't lose power. Even if I did, I guess I could still keep going. I won't be able to do the pre-market. Anyway, the value of this fund is 870 mil. The NAV is 722. All right, synthetic wise, yeah, negative. So let's move on. 30-day IV of coin is 73%. IV estimate 41 cents per share. Income estimate negative at the moment. Group C declares in 26 days on April 30th. Up next is SMCY, of course, but they did have a trade, but we want to skim through the rest before we get to them. So let's go back to the file and let's scroll through. All right, so MSFO, buy to close put. Yeah, man, people, when they close these puts in this market, the synthetics are just getting destroyed. 12 million they had to pay for that one. And then they opened, so they basically closed some, it looks like some of their synthetic, and they moved it from 415 to 370. And then they closed the call here. It looks like a win, 18 cents. They rolled the 390 strike down to 382.50 and to next week's expiration. That's 2% out of the money. Oh, rain is slowing down. ExxonMobil by the close, 2 cents. Yep, that's a win. And they're selling calls next week. They got 90-cent credit. So 117 strike, 4% out of the money. JPMO, they're closing their synthetic. Again, not necessarily pretty. It cost them about 8.4 mil. So they moved their synthetic from 270 to 230. And then they're closing their calls and rolling the strike price down for next week. Same thing. PP by the close, again, winning the trades. The weeklies, for the most part, they're going to win. Except, it is what it is. Their synthetics are not. But, 1 penny, and they got a credit here. Yeah, 69 cents per share. So they rolled that strike down from 71 to 65 with next week's expiration. XYZ as Y, whatever. 10 cents by the close. So they closed the $60 strike. Rolled it down to 58. 7% out of the money for next week. Good old Murney, buy, call, sell, put. People are actually buying Murney. So their synthetic is growing. And they closed out one of their calls, 3 cents, $30 strike. So they rolled the 30 down to 28.50 into next week, which is actually 10% out of the money. That is very, very nice of them. 10% out of the money. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, AIYY by the close, 7 cents. So, yeah, they're closing their 23 strike. They're rolling that sucker down to 21.50, which is 5.96% out of the money for next week. Misty, we talked about. A lot of trades. YBit, what the hell are they doing? Buy call, sell call. Looks like kind of like an in and out. Doesn't really matter. Fiat, who cares? Babo by the close, 9 cents. Yeah, they won their trade, so they closed out to 137, and they rolled that sucker down only to 135, though, which is 4.38% out of the money for next week. Here's our true troublemaker here, SMCY. All right, so what did they do? Buy, call, sell, put. They are adding to their synthetic position, 57 synthetic. It's, that synthetic's a freaking mess, man, because they're at 32. So obviously, they got a lot of money for adding to this synthetic, 4.4 mil. Now, down here, buy to close call. So they closed their call 3 cents. They got, it's a $38 strike, and they rolled that sucker down and out. All right, down and strike, out and expiration, $35 strike, 8% out of the money for next week. And let's see how that plays out. All right, so I have to go back to the file. And here's the SMCY file. SMCI yesterday, they went down 8.57%. SMCY went down 7.45%. I was just going to say not terrible, but imagine 8% down not terrible. It's bad. Anyway, synthetic, there's synthetics. It's doomed. $57 strike. SMCI's at 32. What percent away are they? Oh my God, yeah. They're not, there's no way. This is going to lose them. when they do the rolling order, when they have to close out the synthetic, it's going to be a realized loss for sure. Let's just say that. It's a gold digger. I just can't sing anymore because I'm going to run out of voice. Anyway, what do we got? Let's just focus on the Reds. Let's see if we're going to win our trades for the week because we do got that going for us. Well, let's go. 2 strike prices, 36.50 and 38, 12 and 17% out of the money. I'm going to go out on the limb and say they're going to win that trade. I don't care about next week's trades. The value of this fund is 107 mil. The NAV is 1980. Trade price 1986. Synthetic is in the negative. 30-day IV, absolutely freaking amazing. 100%. This is just for SMCI, not even SMCX. SMCX is a double leverage fund of SMCI. You can imagine that premium. But unbelievable. Unbelievable. Based on that, the estimate would be $1.54. And they're part of Group D. They declare next week. All right, so let's keep going. PLTY's up next, but let's go back to the other file real quick. Yeah, they are next on the file too. Buy call, sell put, sell call. So they're adding to their synthetic and they're selling a call for next week. 91 strike, 8% out of the money. Let's see what their synthetic is. 80. Yeah, their synthetic is in a good spot. So PLTY's actually under control here. It's not a complete crapshoot as far as PLTY is concerned on their synthetic. Palantir, now this we could say is not too bad considering. Palantir only went down 4.61% yesterday. And PLTY, outstanding, only went down 2.22%. So, wow. PLTY freaking whooped ass yesterday. Again, they have a synthetic 80. That expires in May. But again, they're still doing well because Palantir is at 83. So that synthetic is valuable. All right, so red is this week. So let's see, are they going to win the remaining trades for this week? Let's see. Here we go. All right, they have 2 calls, a 90 and a 91, 7 and 8% out of the money. Very, very good chance they win those trades. All right, the value of the PLTY fund is 172 mil. The NAV is 57. Trade price is a 57. Synthetic, there's the lightning. Synthetic bailout is 8.4 mil. That comes to about 279 per share. Obviously, it's going down because the market's going down, but it's still worth money. 30-day IV, 79%. IV estimate is 352. Their income estimate is in the negative, but they're Group B, and they declare in 18 days. Okay, so that's PLTY. You guys hear it? You guys hear the thunder? Thunder. Hear the thunder. Lightning and the thunder. All right. Here we go. Carvani, if anyone gives a crap. Synthetic edition. Yeah, wonderful. Anyway, by the close, they won their trade. They sold the call for next week, 205, 12% out of the money. By the close, 21 cents per share. They won their trade, and they opened a new position, 205, 12% out of the money for next week. Can't cover Ulti, way too complex. Can't cover any of these LFGY, GBTY, and there's Chippy. Chippy's, again, this is all in sequential order of when each fund has launched, just FYI. Just so you guys know. And then obviously quick update over here. If you go to the last tab, I do have the group's value. What this does is a pivot table of the trades in and out, total money in and out since their last declaration. So I have Group A now, Group B, and now Group C. And, we'll see how that goes. But again, in this current market, there's, this is really to let the synthetic shine, when the synthetic does a huge, cash out, huge money maker. But unfortunately, in this market, that is really not happening. So, yeah, it's a little rough. Things will get better, though, I'm sure. All right, anyway, let's get to the pre-market, and then we'll talk about the dividend car. See, I didn't forget. I have half a brain sometimes. All right, if I only had a brain. What movie? All right, so this is as of 5:49 a.m. Yep, I'm definitely way behind. Dividend car will have to be quick. Tesla pre-market is down 1.04%, 264.50. TSLY is down 0.58%, 851. How are they down again? Nvidia is up 0.26%, 102.06. Nvidia is up 0.14%, 1452. Coin is up 1%, 172.49. CONY's up 0.69%, 727. MSTR is up a decent amount, 3.59%, 292.42. Misty is up 3%, 2063. TSLL is down 1.79%, 985. TNA continues to get its ass whooped. It's down 4.5%, 2357. I wanted to sell a put so bad on TNA, I did not. And I guess it turns out that's a good move. Anyway, AMZY's down again. Oh my God, it's down 0.07%, 1515. Bitcoin is up 3.18%, 84,526. The one thing, sadly, like at this moment, the one thing I've been just adding to while I'm working on like a Robinhood account, I've been adding to MSTR, MSTY, MSTX, and Bitcoin. Oh yeah, and GME. Little by little though, like $5 here, $5 there, sometimes $20. I'm working on that account, just building it up as my crypto holding. Yes, GME is a crypto holding now, in my eyes. Again, but I'm a degenerate bastard. Don't follow me. BitX is up 6.35%, 3702. Diamond hands, baby, right? Oh my God, dude, Soxel, you just got freaking depleted, man. This is so rough. Soxel went down 0.88%. Again, I just think about my $40 assignment, which I ended up selling before the end of the year for, tax loss harvesting, but still, damn. 1131. Wow, it's tough to see that. Holy crap. SMCI, they're down as well. 1.24%, 3192. SMCY is up 0.05%, 1987. Palantir is down 0.92%, 8283. Holy lightning. PLTY is down 1.67%, 5661. All right, so that's the pre-market. I don't want to waste any more of your time, so I'm going to go right to the dividend car account right here. All right, so let's keep this simple and sweet. So I have this account is basically, it's not me doing options. That's the other account mostly. This is me owning various funds that pay weekly, and I haven't been able to add to them. I don't even know what the share count is, but these are the weeklies that I hold: XDTE, RDTE, QDTE, WDTE, QQQY, IWMY, YMAG, YMAX, YBDC, LFGY, GBTY. So those are the weeklies that I own, and they have paid me for the month of March $1,312. All right. Misty, their dividend this month was $1.38. Okay. I own 500 shares. So my distribution, right, if you take $1.38 times 500 shares, that's $689. Certainly much less than what we've been accustomed to, right? We were used to getting like over $1,000, but now we're only getting $689. I did just do one options trade. Let's just go here for March. I have TQQQ. What I did is I had a contract expiring on March 28th, and I did a rolling order because at that point in time, it was actually going to get assigned. So I did a rolling order, and I have a strike price of 65 now. Again, it was at 65. So now the stock price was what, 60? When I traded, it was 76. Now it's kind of like, it's okay now. It's at 66. Oh, no, it's not. Where's TQQQ? There it is, $50. Yeah, it's definitely in danger. But anyway, what I'm doing here is, wow, that sucks. But I'm using the margin interest free to sell puts on this index and collecting premium. And for this one, I collected $2.60 in premium. However, honestly, this strike price really sucks at the moment because the market is just getting destroyed. But for now, this is not the worry at the very moment because that expires on April 25th. So we will let this play out. But I came here to this file to show you that I did make $260 in options premium for the month of March. So let's go back to the summary tab. So what happened there is I added 260. So now my total income for this month, I brought in $2,261. All right. Makes sense? Great. My account balance as of March 31st close was $44,165. That is a decrease from the prior month, about 3,000. And in fact, it's continuing to go down because the market, especially yesterday, got absolutely destroyed. But again, we'll see. I update this monthly, so we'll see how April looks when all said and done. All right, so my yield, basically, if I take that income, multiply by 12, divided by the balance, that's a 61% yield, so that's pretty good. Misty cost basis, I don't know why I even have that there, but it's awful. Now, all right, so the point of this account is to pay bills, and that's it. So my other account, my Retire Now account, it pays my mortgage. This basically pays everything else. So what kind of bills am I talking about? Well, I have the car payment, $400, and I have other bills. But if you would like to see those bills, I will gladly show you. Here they are. All right, so last month I had $1,000 in bills. This month they went up to $1,100 because why? Because everything goes up, unfortunately, and this is kind of what we're dealing with now. The car payment did not change, $400, done. Gas bill went up. It was a $148 in February. Now it's $294. All right. Let's see. Internet phone, that should be no change. Parents internet, no change. And electric bill, that went down about $10. But either way, these are the bills that they come out of this account automatically. I don't even see it. Just happened. Boom, boom, boom. So I had to pay $1,135.80 in bills in total. So that is broken down here. You'll see the car payment. It's broken out because, again, this was originally a Dividend car account. Now it's a Dividend car plus other bill account. All right, so let's move on. So obviously I paid approximately, about $1,100 something. So the interest rate on the car is 8.74%. Update on the car, I think I mentioned this in another video. The car is a freaking lemon, piece of crap. So we're actually probably going to get rid of it. I'm really considering leasing because, we've had two cars and we've had two cars paid off for quite some time. This is the first time I have a car loan in a while. But in having two cars over the past, 10, 15 years, it's just always something. It's always something. I'm thinking lease now that my wife doesn't drive to work. The mileage would be low, and hopefully the maintenance is all covered, like the basic stuff. So maybe it's worth it. And then I only have to worry about fixing my old ass car. So I don't know. I got to think about it. Anyway, so the interest I pay on the car is $129. Margin, yes, I am using margin, but I'm not buying anything because I'm allowing the distributions to pay off the margin as we go. However, I did have to pay $47.70 in margin interest this month, which is a decent amount. It is. And the car loan balance sits at $19,324, FYI. It started at 20,000 something. So yeah, it's not really moving much because again, the payment, I'm not paying any extra. But regardless, the extra money this month is $1,000, which allowed me to reinvest about 47%. Last month was 53, month before that 59. Obviously I was, had less bills in the beginning, but I mean, I need to reinvest at least half. This month was a little bit of a struggle. I'm not sure April's going to get any better, to be honest, but we'll see. Again, the point of this account is to pay my bills, and it's doing that. And unfortunately, the account balance may be dropping. So it's going to be quite interesting to see how this develops in time. Again, I'm not going to buy anything until the margin is paid off. Once the margin pays itself off, again, it doesn't, and that's not necessarily true. I just want margin under $1,000-$2,000, and then it'll just sit there, right? And then as I get paid, maybe if it's a super discount, I could just buy little things here and there. But we'll see. We'll see how it all goes. But right now, the account balance sits at 44,000. It could be at 40K after freaking yesterday. Who the hell knows? But no change in this account. It is what it is. It's doing what it's doing. It's paying the bills, and that's it. And that's what it does. It pays the bills. And so does the other. It pays the mortgage. So that's it. That's the update. I'm not sure what else I need to cover. But that's pretty much it. Again, total income for the month, 2,200. Total bills we said was what, 1,100. So, you know, we reinvest what's left over. But technically what's left over is right now it's going to margin, because I did not buy anything this month. Except the only thing I did was that options trade. And that one, this kind of worries me because it could get assigned. And the issue with this getting assigned is that it doesn't pay a distribution, right? Well, actually it does, but it's quarterly and it's so small it doesn't matter. But what I'll do though, if I do get assigned, I'll have to sell calls on these 100 shares way out of the money, super low delta, so there's no danger of assignment if I'm underwater on the cost basis. Again, hopefully I'm making sense, but each, you know, I have two main accounts, Fidelity and I have Schwab. They both pay bills. That's their goal, to pay bills now so that we can live comfortably, you know. 2 kids, 1 income, it is what it is. You know, these accounts are working for us. Yeah, they may be going down at the moment, but whoopee freaking do, right? They're, you know, it is what it is. The market's not always green, and the sooner we understand that, the easier this process is. But anyway, yeah, this car loan, this car payment, I told my wife, I don't even care. Just, if you want to lease, let's just lease. I don't even freaking care. If it's $500, fine. I don't really give a crap. All right, get out of this stupid lemon. Let's move on. I'll keep you guys posted on that, but we'll go from there. But again, then we'll have a permanent car payment. So, all right, so what? 1 car, permanent car payment. I can live with that for now, all right? Because again, you know, when you got small kids, you know, you need something that's good, something big, something to get around, something, I don't know, something safe, of course. But yeah, anyway, that's a wrap. I'm done yapping. So that's the update on the daily intraday trades on YieldMax, and that's the update on my dividend car account. But of course, guys, you know this. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor. This video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, we will do our damnedest to try again tomorrow. Tomorrow will be Saturday video. Obviously, all the closeouts of the trades, so stay tuned for that. If you enjoy this content, please hit the like button. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments below. Outside of that, I got nothing. But I have to do a keyword. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you gotta say the freaking keyword. The keyword today is damn. You know LeBron Simmons. You guys watch wrestling? I know I do way too many wrestling quotes. But after yesterday's market, all we gotta say is, you know, you get Ron Simmons in the room, he looks at the camera and he goes, damn. If you don't know what I'm talking about, type Ron Simmons, damn. So the keyword today is damn. All right. After yesterday, damn. All right. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. And I hope everyone has a better day today than yesterday. Hang in there, guys. We got this. Here comes the money. Here we go. Money, 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 money. Dollars, dollars. Dollars, dollars.